waiting for anything other than experimentation. So it's going to be, we'll find out. Haha. Starting with the ban phase here, it's going to be Nomad gone from G2. We've been talking about this a lot recently. Nomad is an operator that G2 just doesn't like to play against.
Especially on border. Very understandable.
Yes,
certainly. Stairwells to rotate upwards, and then, you've got corridors inside of the objective that are very limiting. You've got usually one doorway to get in between the bomb sites or one rotation hole. Nomad really does a lot of limiting on that side. Empire also going to ban out Glaz. Curious, considering G2 doesn't run a whole lot of Glaz, but...
I mean, sometimes you just don't like to play against an operator.
Exactly.
I mean, that's totally understandable. And that is why Glaz gets banned so often by almost everybody,
Mm-hmm.
Glaz, Ying, Nomad, they're just operators you don't like to play against. The other operators that get banned on attack, hard breachers, when you're on a map that it would, really influence the way that the match is played.
Mm-hmm.
But here on border, we're going to have all the hard breachers. Mira will be banned out, and Jaeger as well. So there's a Ying on the board, and there's no Jaeger to counter that Ying. I bet we're going to see a lot of Ying this match, especially on border of all maps.
Wouldn't be at all shocked, especially considering G2 have been mixing the roles up and mixing their operators. I wouldn't be beyond, and especially considering Empire don't run Ying at all.
I see that Jaeger ban from G2 as a, hey, we want to bring things that have explosive damage, Candelas, and the like. No Ying right off the bat, but there's potential for a 6-pick. We'll see from Empire. Of course, it wasn't their ban on Jaeger, so maybe they're not planning on it. They aren't looking to bring any Ying here in this match. So, yeah, maybe not. But that's just the first half. We'll see what changes moving forward. Maestro and Echo both left unbanned. So we've got the Miragon, which is one of the three.
Yep.
The three horsemen of the defensive apocalypse. But two of the others still in play. And they haven't been nerfed yet.
No. There are potential changes on the test server live right now you can go and experiment with, but they have not made it to the regular build of the game. Of course, we won't ever play a Pro League game on a test server build.
Yeah, thank Lord Tachanka for that.
Yep.
Though, yeah, the nerfs that are propositioned for Maestro, especially, wow, really heavy stuff there. You should go ahead and read up on it, but I'll just give you a brief look into it. Is Maestro, his camera shutters get opened up by Thatcher EMPs and Twitch drones. So you can destroy them now if you use 2 Twitch zaps from a drone. You just zap it once, then just zap the shutter, and then Thatcher opens it up so you just shoot it. I mean, it's just another crazy way to shoot those cameras open, but those don't exist. Those changes haven't happened yet here now, and that's going to make both Echo and Maestro so very much more powerful, especially considering there's an IQ in play. IQ won't be able to shoot Echo through the floor just yet.
Well, looks like Jonas is trying to get a little aggressive on the Karzeka here. Very common spawn peek towards the Valley spawn balcony, but Kazak hits the deck immediately and will evade the rest of the magazine of free fire there from Jonas. Jonas makes it back to site safely, although Shepard, though, disseminates onto Fabian. He's downstairs towards passport check.
Yeah, it looks like
a little too aggressive there towards the passport check door, and Jonas is in tandem inside of customs as well, receiving fire through the wall. Shepard with another one. Looks like they did both die through that same passport check wall, and now Kanto will fill in the same position. Shepard with 3 through the passport wall, and all of G2 fall like flies.
Yo, don't worry about it. He got me, but you can just peek him. Yeah, peek him. Yeah, same angle. Yeah. Oh, it didn't work. You know what? He won't expect a third person. Just peek him. Maybe he has a drone on you. Maybe he can see what you're doing, and maybe you should stop peeking the same angle, huh? Anyway, that's 3 for Shepard, and G2 now fighting a 2 versus 5. Woo! Yeah, go team! But they've got 2 very good operators to make this work with. Lots of information going to be relayed by their dead teammates through the Yokai drones and Evil Eyes. Goga's going to get the first pick for G2. Karzeka goes down, so that's a good start for G2. But again, they're fighting up a mountain right now. Shepard's going to get his 4th kill, and no ace. Joystick gets the final one onto Pengu. Team Empire will take round number 1.
Well, that was, like you said, a calamity of, I imagine, communication and attempting to refrag to their ultimate demise on that one. That was...
Oof.
That's not something you see from G2 either. You don't really see them very often run their heads into the same wall repeatedly.
I mean, we were talking about...
they might just be trying to try some things out.
Yeah, have fun, experiment. You'll see how see what happens, see where the dice land. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
we were discussing that at the beginning of the match before the match even started. Is like this is going to be the most, probably the most popular match for the day, but also it is by far the least important for the standings, the least by a country mile. So, and I think G2 knows that. Empire knows that as well. But that round was, yeah, I mean, it was Shepard getting a 4K, but it was Shepard not getting a 4K out of his amazing skill and talent. No. It was Shepard getting a 4K because G2 gave him a 4K. So that's the end of this round. That's the story. Yeah. Well, life moves on.
It does. So it'll be G2 reattempting upstairs in Armory lockers, and hopefully there'll be less of a detrimental focus on towards that passport wall inside of Customs. Understandable considering the positioning, because you had Fabian who was playing the Pulse downstairs. You want him downstairs inside of Customs and down inside of Workshop to be able to relay info to the rest of the team about where the push is coming from. It was a heavy Empire office side stack there for a while, but you lose your manpower downstairs trying to consistently engage. So it's G2 looking to, I guess, adapt to the situation they're in and hopefully not throw bodies at a ready and waiting Shepard.
No, Shepard is always ready to take those fights, seeing he lands his shots. So Tarzeka going for that spray into office again. It's a very common angle that we've talked about before in the past, and it is able to get some free picks early on. Not so in this case. But we've seen it before. I think it was Jonas who really made that angle popular, wasn't it? Where he got like that one pick as a Habana early on into a match. That was a long time ago, but it gets pre-fired almost every other round on this map now.
So it looks like Empire also establishing and attempting to establish what the positioning is for G2 inside of CCTV. It's widespread attack right now. You've got two split over towards the office side, but Pengu will finally get the first kill in this round onto Shockwaves. He tries to push in, I guess, downstairs, garnering a kill through those kill holes in towards Tellers.
Some unreinforced walls and archives. That is curious to see from G2. They are playing very heavy on the roam, so it's partially understandable. Shepard has some next level game sense. Fabian goes down through a wall. I'm guessing somebody was droning for him there, or just some really good placements of shots. We did see another kill though for G2, so it's not over yet for G2. They in fact have the man advantage. Shepard gets another onto Jonas. That's 2 for him in the round. He's looking for maybe another 4K. Pengu's gonna shut down Joystick though, so G2 keep up with their own frags.
Pengu being the difference maker right now inside of Office, stalling out the progression from an Empire, and it leaves Scyther and Shepard in a 2v3 to work out of. Impact nades come up onto the floorboards, but Pengu has already evacuated his position by the trip wall and made it in behind the radio desk as Scyther will drone himself out up top east stairs, and again head in towards Office. Heavy focus here for G2 on the Office side, and it's going to be up to Shepard and Scyther to identify this and either decide on a rotate, because right now pushing through Office seems like just an insurmountable task. Yeah. Still whipping out the drones with now a minute ticking down against them. They can't clear out these bandit batteries. They're going to have to make a site rotation. I
mean, what do you got going on in Office right now? You've got 2 SAS operators with shotguns and SMG-11s. It's going to be a really, really difficult nut to crack for Empire, but they're going to try it anyway. You can see the wall opens up into Office. Still 40 seconds to go, so it's not the end of the world. Shepard has been fragging, and he possibly still has some utility left on his lifeline. So the tools are there. But they are as well for G2 as the gas canisters start to come out. You can see that there are in fact 2 lifelines left for Zofia to work with.
Now Scyther pushing in for the trip wall. He has to worry about the top shelf peak over top of the arches here. That's Cantor Ketty peeking in with the SMG-11, but missing the crucial shots. Although Pengu will save his day as Shepard will fall at the hands of the SMG-11. That's the 3rd and falling through the hatch. Scyther now back down to Tellers with 10 seconds left. Whips out the 5-7 in absolute desperation, sprinting up the stairs, but it's Pengu with 4 on the round. Beautiful work there from Pengu, who's, again, like we talked about, pushed into an alternate role that we never really see from him, but Smoke is no unfamiliar operator for the Danish superstar.
I mean, the thing about G2 that's always made them such a versatile squad is that each and every one of their players can fulfill whatever role is necessary for them to, well, fill. So, good job to Pengu, and 4K answered with a 4K from their opponents. Now we have an even match at that 1-1 scoreline. Ventilation Room Workshop, next site here for G2, which is in, well, it's part of the normal rotation for Border. This is one of those maps that has 2 very, very strong bomb sites in Armory and Ventilation, and then 2 what are considered off sites in Customs and Tellers. A lot of them are played the same way, though. You know, it's really interesting. Yeah. Like, for example, Ventilation, you're going to defend it from Armory. customs and tellers, you defend those from the rooms right above, which is CCTV and office. So yeah, I mean, vertical control is paramount on Border. And it was actually, I believe it was one of the first maps to really start Pro League in the way, going in the direction of vertical play. I think this is where it really all began, if we're taking a look down the rabbit hole. But that's a story for another time. Here and now, we've got G2 setting themselves up for what appears to be, yet again, as I discussed, a roam upstairs. And they'll have lots of information to go alongside it. No Maestro being brought this time, but still they retain the Echo, and here comes the Valkyrie.
So identical operators this time around from G2 as they defend an alternate site, but like you said, they'll defend it almost identically. Fabian with a Valkyrie camera outside. He's looking for Fabian to try and survive a little bit longer. He did get one kill, the only other kill for G2. So that mute jammer just got deleted, and I imagine that was from
IQ.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, from outside?
Yeah, I won't know. IQ's on the other side of the building.
I think it was
so yeah, it must have just been shooting.
Opening up that server hatch, possibly with the shotgun from above. So losing a bit of utility won't be the end of the world, especially one mute jammer on the doorway. But you've also got Shockwave pushing in through tellers as Empire continuously assess the office is the weak spot for G2, even though that was a hard-held position by Pengu last time.
Yeah, it was definitely not a weak spot. I think that change off of the Maestro and bringing the double SAS was probably what helped them with holding on to office, because those are some really good tools to hold those close angles. Now, we are going to be seeing Empire shift things just ever so slightly to an armory wall take, it seems. Of course, it's important to remember that this is a vent defense, so top floor control is going to be important and will consume a lot of the attacking time. Cantor Ketty will be the one attempting to hold on to armory, but he's only got half HP to make this happen and no support.
You can see the utilization of the frag grenades. Empire have been rocking the buck and the sledge as Joystick pushes in through the double doors, but a myriad of shots won't even one will connect onto Jonas. And now looking down through the hatch as the floorboards are evacuated from underneath him from the skeleton key. He's going to retreat back towards the sandwich. Inside of office, incredibly wary of Joystick pushing into the double door, but Joystick has also pushed his way in towards the radio window and now creeping up the hallway again, up on top of the shelves. Pengu will fall away at the most inopportune time. Scyther grabs one out of Kanto, but Fabian with the immediate refrag. You still got your top hold on the office side intact, but now Empire have made an incursion in towards armory.
Armory control is going to be so important if B site is the site of choice for Empire. This control is going to be very good, and Shepard trying to cut off top of East stairs. Joystick will take down Jonas, so here we go. Empire put themselves in a man advantage. It's going to be more vertical pressure being exerted onto the B-bomb site. Joystick trying his best to hold on to that flank, deny rotation from East stairs from inside of office, as well as taking out electronics using his electronics detector. It's going to be moving over to archives. You can get some pretty good control from this drop, but it's not perfect. You have to expose yourself to peek some majority of the site.
You can see all this verticality being utilized. Joystick bringing the breaching charges. You also got Karzeka with the sledgehammer. You had Shockwave with the skeleton key. It's a lot of destruction and manipulation done to the surfaces on the floor. Finally, Karzeka will spot out Pengu and rip through him with a counterpart SMG-11. So it's down to Goga and Fabian now. One inside of the bathroom, and Fabian rotating down towards the bottom of metal, just narrowly missing Karzeka as he rotates right beside him. A Nitro cell to the floorboards, and he'll take down Joystick. Now pressing in towards the front door, looking away, but Shepard able to garner the kill. Nitro won't be able to trade them all out. And Goga now, the last man alive with the Yokai's in sight, and Karzeka from up above as Goga tries to retreat to ventilation to stall out the plant attempt. Be taken down, and it's Empire taking a lead once again.
Wow, that was an impressive take there from Empire. I love the way that they shifted away from offices, because you were right. At the beginning of the round, you pointed out how, okay, offices seems to be the focus for Empire, but it's been such a struggle for them taking it in the past. So as soon as you said that, we saw Empire start rotating to Armory. And who was trying to hold on to Armory? But one player, Cantor Ketty, all alone, and nobody to help him out. As soon as Cantor Ketty was taken out of the picture, it was a pretty easy push into Armory, and then vertical pressure was the name of the game for Empire. They had plenty of soft destruction to make that happen, lots of breaching charges, and the hammer. They didn't get to use the skeleton key very much, but hey, there you go. They still had it at the beginning of the round. Once they had put that pressure onto the site using the vertical play, simple rotation outside to hit onto the B bomb site, and that's the end of the story. And all the while, Empire are getting picks onto G2, who are trying their darndest to regain some semblance of control in that round, but G2 just couldn't make it happen. And Empire, who have just been fragging out hard in this match, continue to do so, getting that lead once again.
I'm really impressed right now with, first of all, the adaptation here from Empire picking up a a Thatcher instead of bringing the Buck. The frag grenades, while Jaeger is banned out, haven't really been doing a whole lot for Empire. Honestly, the frag grenade last time around from Karzeka was utilized to clear out the mute jammers. They're just trying to expedite things with the Thatcher.
And they've also been bringing quite a lot of breaching charges as well. You can see the IQ and the Zofia both there, and I think they have been running both of them breaching charges. So you don't, I mean, when you know you're opening from above to go to below, you don't really need to bring a buff.
No. And the second thing for Empire as well is their ability to hold a flank in the midst of chaos. There have been so many times where they're in the middle of a clear of either CCTV or armory, and one person just has the presence of mind to turn and check a flank for 5 seconds, and it's almost always grabbing them the kill. G2 are walking into the trap that Empire are laying, and Empire aren't even paying that much attention to the flank. It's just timing for them right now.
Yeah, it has been a little bit of luck on the side of Empire, that's for sure, in terms of their timing.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with you there. It is curious though. You got to imagine if there were a little bit less trepidation on the side of G2, if they just went for those flanks, they might see better success. But that's a big maybe, and we can only guess at the future. Joystick and Empire as a whole trying to take into office once again. You could see that G2 have rotated their top floor hold away from office. They still have a presence there. It's going to be Eunice inside of Fountain. And here's the thing, that is a much lighter hold on office than we saw from G2 in the past. They have shifted their priority to Armory Lockers area, and that is going to make this job for Karzeka and Empire as a whole and Joystick much, much easier on the office side. Karzeka holding down that rotation just inside of Armory from CCTV. This is a very powerful angle to deal with the roamers. Empire have established that office is clear, and now they're going to try and push into archives.
Again, very swiftly opening up the armory wall. Now Scyther has gone for a rotation over to the triple wall outside of office. Jonas will back off even further, but Fabian going on a big run outside of ventilation window will remove Shockwave off of his repel. Thatcher had already done his job in clearing out the utility, stalling out the breaching of the walls, but you lose some firepower on the side of Empire, and it's a good start here for G2, keeping man count alive, and now even further in their favor. Fabian will remove Karzeka from play as well, and preoccupied with Valkyrie cameras downstairs. In the process, Scyther will take down Fabian, so there goes your Valkyrie and a possibility of 1 Nitro Cell. Joystick pushing in tandem through Office and Fountain now as the pinch is coming in from multiple sides. Joystick and Shepard will pinch in tandem. Kantariketti will fall. Pengu has now been downed as well inside of the small office. Good hold there from Jonas in the back of Archives. Oh, but another flank in from Scyther. It's all Goga alone now as Pengu will drop to the server hatch. I'm not sure if he's even remotely recoverable though. A very precarious situation as Scyther could drop in the back. They're going to go for the attempted revive. No, Goga's going to fall off, and a smart play there. Goga will find clean up Pengu, and Scyther onto Goga as he looks skyward up through the floor holes. Shepard's still doing a lot of work on that Zofia, as I think that pushes him upwards to double digits kills now.
I mean, these ventilation holds from G2 have not even been close. Empire have a stranglehold, and really, they know exactly what they're doing when they're attacking Armory. When they take top 4 control and they start opening up from above, I mean, there's nothing that G2 have really shown us that screams, yeah, we know what we can do to stop Empire from accomplishing their goal upstairs. G2 also, this is curious, G2 are staying on their roam top floor a lot more than they usually would. They are committing a lot more to fights than I'm used to seeing from them, and I think it's because of the efficiency from Team Empire. Team Empire have been clearing so very well the roamers in ventilation, or rather in Armory for ventilation. And once those roamers are cleared, I mean, it's the same story as last round. There's not more analysis work to be done here. The big difference is the shift. Instead of shifting off of an office take, Team Empire shifted off of an Armory take to go into office because they detected that G2 had adapted their strategy to better hold Armory. So Team Empire are playing dynamically. They're waiting to see what G2 is putting up before Empire responds with a counterpunch. And the counterpunch from Empire on the roamers has been working every time. Once that counterpunch works, it's still a site take. And with vertical control, it's really not that hard for Empire. The really amazing thing, the one big standout, is the fact that Fabian was poking holes in the clear for Empire through that whole round, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, the collapse there from Empire was just too strong, and honestly, the adaptability right now for Empire is honestly a marvel to watch, considering they were a team for a very long time that had a I guess, a reputation for running the same thing over and over again. They weren't very adaptable, and they kind of ran the same strat again and again and again. This is a new kind of Empire, and we've been seeing this all season. It's not like it's a brand new occurrence in this individual match, but it is a good note to have, and one of the reasons why they have made it so far and performed so well in the online season of Season 9 and performed so well at the 6 Invitational.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue any team's natural cycle is going to be going from no strategy at all to set strategies on each site, whether it be attack or defense, to having a knowledge of all strategies, but being able to use them dynamically based on what your opponent is putting forth. And that's what we're seeing in the evolution of Empire, and it makes them even more fearsome as time moves on. G2 went through that evolution years ago, literally years ago. So, anyway, here we are now, 3-1 Empire. You see Shock is going to take a little bit of damage early on. He's put down, and there is no dock on attack, nor are resets a thing any longer, so Empire are just going to have a very heavy HP disadvantage moving forward into this take. It's an Office take here for Empire, it seems, and they're not able to take out what I'm going to guess is Pengu, holding inside of Office once again. Yes, indeed, the smoke with rotation into Archives. He's got Kanto below to support him, and the drop open so he can fall back when it's necessary. Fabian finds himself in the middle of in the middle of Office, completely exposed, and somehow not picked off as the wall starts getting opened up.
Oh boy. As Karzeka goes to throw a frag grenade down metal stairs, Jonas will peek his head up for just a moment. Kanto playing in support at the bottom of the stairs as well. Looks like Shepard is going to try and rip up this hold at the base of the stairs, although Fabian peeking out will grab 2 on a joystick and Scyther, and now finally one traded back. Karzeka will take down Kanto. Shockwave again onto Fabian now, coming up top metal. Jonas takes a deal of damage, skeleton key in hand, but again escaping down those metal stairs. Karzeka having a rough time on the buck, trying to finally finish off Jonas at the base of the stairs. Shepard holding for flanks down below as the drones come in and spot out that Office is finally clear, although they've surrendered their Thermite and their top fragger in the process. Shockwave still on limited HP, carrying the diffuser. Another precarious situation considering the amount of utility that Pengu has at his disposal. Still has 1 Toxic Babe remaining.
That's a very long angle being played there by the Doc on the top of Lockers, and he is going to see his opponent, though not land the shots. In fact, we'll take one from Karzeka. Good eyesight for Karzeka to be able to hit that shot. I mean, it's a Doc, so he's just going to heal back up. But still, he has forced Goga off the position. Shepard coming in the main hallway is going to see one victim and finish off Jonas from behind. Pengu, though, fragging out still, all the way back in Archives. He'll take down Karzeka, and that's the presence on the balcony finally dealt with. The Buck no longer going to be the scourge of those anchors. And it's going to be another for Pengu, but he finally gets picked off. The pistol out, but it's not enough. Goga with the refrag. Shepard goes down, and G2 will win their second Armory defense in their second round total in this match.
It's a good response there from G2 as they were letting things get away from them there. 3-1 deficit, you never want to turn that into a 4-1 because the number of 5-1 comebacks we've seen, very small number in comparison to the number 4-2 comebacks we've seen. Border is a very even map statistically, whether it favors the defense or offense. Most often split on a Border game is a 3-3, much like Oregon, but 4-2s abound in favor of the defense. Not far behind. It'll be one final defensive stand here for G2 in this match. I'm going to go down to Ventilation Workshop, not electing to try out either of the other off-sites, as you mentioned, Customs and Supply Room or Bathroom Tellers. They can be used as, I guess, a bit of a coin flip, but we talked about G2 as well. Saving strats. Maybe not necessarily wanting to flex too much of their information.
Yeah, I mean, I said that with a little bit of irony, but, you know,
yeah,
a little, maybe some dripping with sarcasm as well. But yeah, no, going into this Ventilation, Empire have really been just shredding G2 every time they attack onto Ventilation. G2 really don't seem to have a good hold on those roamers upstairs, and that's pretty much the story here. There's not much more to talk about. That last round highlighted a few things that we've been seeing on the Armory defenses for G2 and just in general defense. Fabian, two very big picks early on. And how did Fabian get them? He walked into Office and just kind of, you know, walked towards the enemy in 1-2 gunfights. That's it. I mean, that should never be allowed to happen. Fabian has been getting away with a lot of those things lately, though. And just, you know, I mean, it's, like I said recently, it's been kind of the Fabian story in terms of frags for G2, in my opinion. Pengu also has a huge role in how that last round was won, getting those 2 picks by the site and holding on to it, denying that plant in the cover from the main hallway. I'd go with the final one, too, of course.
I think a lot of people are going to look at the scoreboard and think, oh wow, Kanto Raketti 0-5 right now. The biggest problem that I find with the G2 setup right now is that Kanto has been put on an island in every single position, and he's had to contest with at least 2 or more attackers at the same time. He's just being put in very unfavorable positions and not really falling back. He's standing and fighting. Finally, he has some support here with Goga inside of Office, and Shockwave will start things off for a bad game going worse for Kanto as he'll lose 10 HP to the Twitch drone.
Oh no, whatever will he do?
Oh no.
What an efficient use of the shock drone from Shock. I wonder if he actually is playing Twitch to let us say that. I wonder if that's what's going on here. Joystick's gonna take down Jonas, and there goes the mute, but his jammers are still in play, and they are stumping Empire, who do not have a Thatcher, so they can't open up the office wall. So, yeah, and they've lost both their Twitch drones. Yeah, that's the end of that story. That means that Empire are gonna have to rotate, and they are doing just that. Joystick finds himself in Archives, looking for a pick. Ooh, but looks the wrong way, and Pengu will shut him down. Great punish there from Pengu. Lack of droning on the side of Empire, and a free pick, giving the even man count back into this match. Oh no, Shock! You're never gonna live that one down, buddy. Scyther will get one onto Goga, but Kanto Raketti still alive, managing to dodge Shock's bullets, will take down Karzeka. And through the barricades, Scyther gets the refrag. Excellent job there from Scyther, and Kanto Raketti on the scoreboard now. G2 going to be at a disadvantage, but better position than it could have been.
Oh, Fabian caught out in a poor rotate there in towards Customs, and he's on his last life now on 5 HP, and the Doc's been taken care of. Pengu as well as he tries to evacuate upstairs. It's Fabian alone on 5 HP at the bottom of meta stairs, and Shockwave making up for his prior mistakes. Will rip right through his head with that F2. Missing a few shots on Kanto and Goga upstairs, but landing the final 2 onto Pengu, and Fabian makes up for it. He still gets his 2 kills. Could have had 4 on the round, but it's Empire doubling up on their advantage again. They go up 4-2 into the half, and now they head to their defensive side. Probably the advantage side here for Empire.
Yeah, I would think so. The fact that they ended that first half 4-2 just makes it even worse. Why did they end the first half 4-2? Well, it's pretty obvious they couldn't. G2 couldn't defend ventilation. They didn't have a firm grasp on that ventilation hold. Whenever they would overinvest in the roamers, I mean, Empire just punished G2 more. Having more bodies upstairs meant more deaths upstairs. And then whenever G2 would rotate and try to hold different areas, Empire would punish a different part of the map. So it's just really dynamic play from Empire, good adjustments, and nothing to answer back from G2. That whole first half on ventilation defense was crippling for G2's overall scoreline. And I'd say, yeah, you're right. Empire are going to have a slight advantage going into defense now. Assuming Empire has any, even just a little bit more luck while defending ventilation, this is a done match.
Well, we talked about the possibility of Ying being a strong factor in this match with the Jaeger being banned out, and I agreed with the read. It seemed like a smart call, but no Ying so far through 7 rounds now. Still have yet to see if maybe it'll come through.
It was G2's Jaeger ban, so Empire not bringing Ying isn't a crazy thing, right? But now G2 aren't bringing Ying, so that's odd. And they've also brought a Capital, which Capital doesn't care about Jaeger, so it's just a bit odd. I mean, we've got grenades, we've got the Zofia, but overall the Jaeger ban is not going to be the craziest thing ever. Or it doesn't scream a strategy that G2 are executing right now. It might scream a strategy that they'll execute later on, but for here and now, doesn't really matter. I also could just be targeting Joystick, so.
Very true.
That's a thing.
We forget about those days where Ashe and Jaeger were the constant bans, but now Joystick doesn't like playing Ashe anymore because he doesn't have the ACOG on the R4, and he just does not like the G36. So Ping's coming out for Fabian downstairs. He's got one isolated inside of the office sandwich, and he's going to have to head to an alternate location to try and grab him. But Kanto will take down Cypher in the process, and there goes your Echo very early on. Oh my, Kanto out on the Valley spawn. I guess he was just spraying in towards Vent and the top metal detectors.
This is a nice angle being opened up by Joystick. He's got the bait hole down too, so he can see his opponent, but his opponent can't see him. Missed shots though. Jonas will be looking the wrong way, so another opportunity here for Joystick. He won't land the shots. Oh, finally does! Excellent gunplay there. Fabian, though, elsewhere has taken down Shepard. So, Empire's distinct man advantage, but at the same time, Joystick fighting back. He is trapped in CCTV though, so this is not a good spot for him to find himself in. Three-way crossfire onto Joystick. He's just doing his darndest to stay alive here. Gonna overheal as the Doc in all likelihood, but he's completely trapped, and he will die very shortly to Cantor Raketti. Another one for the Finnish player on G2. Karzeka's gonna take down Kanto though, so no more for that Zofia. Karzeka did, though, pay a pretty high toll. Lots of HP, as you can see, on about 10 there for the smoke.
You've also got this nice kill hole set up with the Evil Eye right now for Empire. Look out towards the Armory balcony. You've got Pengu out on Rappel, though, playing Overwatch for Goga, and a little more than a minute remaining. This looks like a sure round for G2, barring the outdone bottleneck on this soft wall. Looking in, and there goes one. Goga will fall. Just a poor attempt to get in towards the wall there. The obvious hole with the Evil Eye playing Purview, and an Alda behind a half wall that's indestructible. Very easy position there, but finally from down below, Fabian will disseminate onto Shockwave from down below inside of Ventilation. Now it's Karzeka alone on 5 HP. The ping from the Evil Eye will identify Pengu with the Diffuser inside of CCTV. And again, up against the hole. Finally, Karzeka will take him down. He's got Diffuser. Now Fabian with a Legion Mine stuck in his leg, pushing through Armory. Karzeka has evacuated over into CCTV. Playing the window, though he's left the availability of the Diffuser to Fabian up against a reinforcement. That's exactly what Fabian will do. The Evil Eye will continuously call out information, but now outside of its purview, he'll head in behind the half wall and try and attempt to plant. Karzeka might know this. No, he's got no idea. Fabian's going to get this plant down, and Karzeka's going to have to rotate up through metal. They're going to have a flank drone ready, and Fabian seemingly already well aware of Karzeka's flank attempt up through metal. Crouch walking in. As soon as he goes for the vault, though, Sam will be made, and Fabian on that skeleton key will have a rate of fire and health advantage. Talk to Babe, not even coming close to hitting Fabian and choking him out. And Ping's coming out onto a flank drone now. Vaults into the office, and Fabian standing pat. Nerves of steel now for the team captain. And the self-proclaimed best player in the world is trying to pull outside the bomb now as Karzeka, but Fabian will lock it down in the 1v1. Beautiful play there from Fabian on a solo mission to keep G2 in this, and now they're only a round back.
A little bit too much patience there on the side of Karzeka. He really had a lot of opportunities to win that round. He played it pretty well, rotating into CCTV, but then he didn't hold anything. Diffuser, I think, the most important first step. The biggest mistake that Karzeka made there was leaving the Diffuser. He could have opened up the wall and could have played it from CCTV, close with the shotgun maybe. He had his options available to him. Whatever it was, he had his options. 3 gas canisters, 15 seconds to hold on to that Diffuser. I mean, why not just gas the Armory wall and play close? When he got too safe, he played behind the shelf, he allowed the Diffuser to be retrieved, and then he didn't even try to deny the plant, which would have, I mean, very predictively gone down behind a half wall. I think that's pretty expected, if not half wall by lockers. That's 2 gas canisters you need to cover that area, and then there's nothing Fabian can do to win, because he can't plant if you're hitting him with a gas canister. He would have had to come off, go for a challenge, but at that point you have a hard wall that you can hide behind. Overall, though, it is what it is. Hindsight 2020, of course, but too much passive play from Karzeka. That's for darn sure. Great play to Fabian, though. Can't take anything away from him. He paced it perfectly. He never relented with the aggression, which was absolutely necessary as he only had about 20 seconds to get that clutch. Now, moving on here. Empire going to try to defend Armory again. Now, that last round going to G2, what that is going to mean is that G2 are very much still in this match, where at first, ending this first half 4-2, it looked like G2 might be out, assuming Empire can win their basic defense rounds. But we've already been given something different here, a very different sample size, as Empire have managed to lose 1 Armory defense. That's huge.
Yeah, and this isn't really something we saw from G2 on their defensive halves. They won their Armory defenses for the most part. I think they went 2 for 3 on it.
Yeah, but, 2 for 3, you're right.
Yeah, and then it was, like you said, it was their vent defense downstairs that was just abysmal. 0 for 3. It's a rough go. Kanto making his immediate ingress in through passport check as Pengu will also pinch out towards the ventilation window. So a lot of emphasis being placed on the basement, walking right in front of a punch hole in the wall. But now finally the skeleton key and shots rain out. 3-man stack downstairs will rip right through 2. Joystick and Shockwave, both taken care of with ease. Fabian, the only one to take a single hit point of damage, although he is on about 10 HP. So we stand in the same position we were last time, just much swifter from G2. Empire down 2 men.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're right. This is the same thing that happened last round. Early picks for G2, no answer back for a while, and, I mean, I don't count Empire out, that's for sure, but they are in a very bad position now, obviously. It could be kind of, I mean, easily different if we had a little bit maybe more presence on the roam, or just overall less. Clearly, G2 want to go for some vertical pressure, though, from below. That's why they brought the buck, and now that's going to be very much an option moving forward. Pengu is seemingly on the rappel over North Lockers, waiting for a run out, trying to bait it, it seems, and he is actually going to be successful if he holds this long enough. Shepard getting very close to that window, but no, he'll fall off. Definitely the right call from the Legion. Scyther goes down. Looks like it was a nade from below, and it'll be a nade from below to finish him off. 2 from Fabian, both landed. A spray and a kill for Karzeka, but Pengu takes down Shepard, leaving Karzeka the last defender once again, and Pengu gets a final kill. G2 take another attack onto Armory.
Another situation where Empire just losing bodies downstairs, and the site push is extremely efficient and coordinated there from G2, something we weren't really seeing on their defensive side. Their coordination on their roam was not as strong as their pushing power on the attack.
Every single thing that Empire's relying on to stall the push onto the anchors is being dealt with after the roamers have been cleared out from below by G2. I mean, that nade onto Fountain is a prime example, and that, by the way, is why the Jaeger got banned as well. I mean, the knowledge that Jaeger is gone, you can just arc those crazy nades from below his buck. You just open a hole, throw it wherever you don't want an enemy to be playing. Once Fountain was dealt with, I mean, G2 had easy access to archives, and also a huge man advantage after clearing out the roamers and taking down that Fountain player. I mean, that's what, a 2 versus 4, so, or 2 versus 5 even. So it's like, yeah, there's not a lot of potential for Empire to come back at that point. So it's a very simple strategy being executed by G2. Clear roamers, buck from below, and deal with all of those hard anchor positions using that buck. But it's effective and lethal, and Empire don't seem to know how to deal with it. The same way that G2 didn't know how to hold ventilation. We're seeing this kind of the inverse here as we switch on to the second half, where Empire don't know how to deal with Armory. Maybe it's time to experiment with ventilation, but Empire won't give us that just yet. They go to Armory the 3rd time in a row.
Well, a game that seemed like it was on life support suddenly has a breath of fresh air in it. We're drawn at 4-4, and we're looking to go the distance now between G2 and Empire. Almost the same operators being brought by Empire on the defensive side, just the personnel playing them have changed slightly. You've got Joystick now on a dock, who's taking a little bit of damage in prep phase. Never the start you want, but nonetheless, it's only about 10 HP as the round begins. And Pengu is now swapped off of the IQ onto the Ash. So we're seeing, again, some more role swaps coming out from G2 outside of the norm, really. And
I mean, he's been playing IQ, yeah, and Ash is not that crazy of a transfer. It just means you're losing less. You're losing out heavily on that utility counter. However, not the worst thing in the world. Empire has brought an Echo though, so that's not gonna be good. The IQ will be sorely missed. Though, I mean, Pengu's probably just trying to have fun with it. Nade set up here from Fabian, and he's gonna be aiming for the player inside of that office sandwich. He will land the nade, but it must have hit something else. But oh yeah, maybe it hit the just hit the rim there. Second one seems to have hit the rim again. So 2 missed nades from Fabian. Unfortunate.
Seemed like a free kill onto Scyther yet again. The Echo changing locations out from in behind Fountain walls and now towards the office sandwich. Pengu's taking a lot of damage in the process, though. It sounds like it's Joystick contesting from inside of CC. That's exactly what it'll be. An asphyxiating bolt will rain out and land at his doorstep, but it won't connect. He'll back off even deeper into his reinforced cubby. You've got Cantor Raketi going downstairs, though. We've seen the vertical pressure with this soft destruction before. Then it'll ring out yet again. The hatch gets blown wide open, but Fabian's taking a lot of damage, and Joystick is pressed out of his cubby as it was smoked out. Jonas, though, will finally grab his 2nd kill of the game on a Scyther. Shepard with immediate trade onto Jonas, so you lose the Cap's ability. He's already used a lot of it in trying to push Joystick out of his favorite position now over towards the break room wall. The collapse from G2 not as effective, although they still lose Scyther that Echo extremely early, so their plant denial and the swapping of an IQ won't have as much of an effect on this round.
Go doing his best to exert some pressure onto offices, but Karzeka is still present and will take down Fabian for being downed himself by Cantor Raketi underneath. Goga just inside of office, trying his best to push in. Pengu will punish Shock for some bad positioning. Joystick, though, will refrag, finally using that CCTV presence to hold on to offices. Shepard inside of Armory now, and Joystick inside of CCTV. G2 has to know this. They have to be aware of the position of these defenders and rotate accordingly. They have access points into B, and no one actually holding the site. Joystick is the real pressured player right now to hold on to that diffuser, and he has failed in that job. He'll start rotating now. He's going to have to do something about this site push that is coming out, and the plant that Cantor Raketi is committed to right now. Shepard going for the push. He's got to deal with the cover of Pengu. Plant down now, sees an enemy, lands the shots, but not enough to get the down. Cantor-Ketty's very much still in this, but the mark's coming out. The dock from behind will land the kill. Cantor-Ketty eliminated. It's just Pengu in a 1 versus 2. Half wall, though, will be his downfall as Shepard lands the shots and Empire take the round on an easy disable of this diffuser.
Again, a good response there from Empire, as did G2 coming into the second half. G2 with an excellent response to a game that seemingly was getting out of hand. Same thing here, mirrored on the opposite side for Empire. Seems like things were getting out of their control there, but they bring one back in their favor, and now again return to a leading position. Only up 1 round though, and they have the possibility to secure themselves a point. Oh boy, do they ever need? No, they don't need the points. They're already going to land.
I mean, you could argue that neither team needs the points, right?
Neither team needs nor wants the points at this point, but someone's going to get them.
Yeah, Empire going to land. G2 mathematically possible, though statistically improbable, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
And neither of them is going to get relegated, so there's that too.
True.
But yeah, so yeah, moving on. Ventilation. Yeah, we're going to ventilation now. And it's good that our Armory was finally successful for Empire. I'm surprised they hammered it out 3 times to get that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, this match would be over if they just could win your standard border defenses. That, though, I think comes more down to G2's ruthless attacks on the top floor. They were doing so very well. That round in particular, standout to me is the fact that CCTV was not cleared by G2, which is something that G2 had been doing every other attack onto that top floor. Because CCTV still had a presence from Empire, that presence was able to put a lot of pressure onto the office, take down Goga with the diffuser in hand, and deny the plant for so very long, forcing G2 in a bad position in the dying seconds of the round. I mean, it went the way you would expect in that situation. So, good job to Empire covering that, and bad G2, I guess, for not clearing CCTV. Moving on, Empire now going to be holding ventilations from above. Go figure. Standard fare here on border.
Yeah, they're very common 3-2 split. You got 3 defenders upside, you stack 2 on whichever side you want to defend more. Office or Armory, you put the lone man on an island on the opposite side, but you don't want to invest as much utility and have him fall back as soon as the attacking team identifies the weak point and starts hammering in on it. But Kanto again, trying to fire in towards the top of metal detector. Fabian, though, man on a mission downstairs by himself will start pushing in through passport check.
He's been droned in here. There's nobody in bathroom. He could easily just walk into the site, especially if there's a rotation or a soft wall. I mean, he's playing on Buck right now. So this is a potential opportunity and a half here for G2 if Empire leave that gaping hole in their defense.
It looks like they have, as they rotated a 4th member upstairs. I believe it was Shockwave who came up metal and is now engaging in this position, trying to peek through the soft wall of break room, and he'll land the shot with the MPX onto Cantor-Ketty. Zofia will fall, and that's part of your verticality push taken away, as Kanto has been instrumental pushing in from the opposite horizontal plane of the objective for numerous rounds in a row now. So Jonas pushing in from top east will be a little more safe on his incursion through the main lobby and through the main hallway. Although Fabian on the drone, there's only 1 man on site. He's got the skeleton key, and he'll go 1-1 against Shepard. Makes it in behind the main lobby desk, as Pengu is also over towards detention. This could be a good pinch here from G2 to try and attack the site and hold for the retake.
Shepard's just doing his best to hold on here. It's curious, G2 have opportunities available to them. Like, for example, the A side is really lightly defended right now, but they're not really going for it. I think they're a little bit worried about that top 4 control, but they're not trying to clear that out either. Overall, it's very slow. Here we go. Going for it is Fabian, and he will take down Shepard. No refrag from Empire, at least not onto Fabian, who gets another one. Joystick, though, and Shock will be contributing to this scoreboard, so Empire is still in the man advantage position. And this vertical pressure is going to be so important as Goga goes down, and so does Fabian to Joystick in the hallway. Here we go. Empire, it was a bait and switch. Fabian fell for it. He got 2 kills out of it, but it ultimately cost G2 the round. Should have been some vertical play there from G2, as previously discussed.
Yeah, looks like they identified that there's 1 man on site, but again, it was the retake potential for Empire that really won them that round, and it wasn't even kills to the members on site, it was the members trying to hold flank, and that's where the entire wheels fell off for G2 on that push. So we go to customs and supply room now, as obviously we've had 2 successful defenses in a row for Empire, 1 on Armory, 1 on Vent. We now head to customs inspections.
Now, depending on who has the tiebreaker, that might have just officially eliminated G2 from the running for the finals, by the way. I mean, we expect that to happen at some point today, depending on what happens in the Listerine match, but G2, just lost out on potentially winning this match. Of course, we are on a 6-4 in Empire's favor, which means at most we will see 23 points from G2. The stream have 23 right now, so I'm just checking the tiebreaker. It was a draw, so it'll come down to round differential, or depending on what happens in the, I believe it was the stream. Where is that? Oh no, I was wrong. I checked the wrong match. Hang on.
Almost identical operators coming out for Empire on this customs hold, except for Shockwave bringing out a castle this time around. And finally, in possibly the last round of the whole match, we'll get a Ying. Pengu swapping off the Ashe onto the Ying, as it looks like, again, G2 will be focused on a bombardment of one cordoned off area of the map. Whether that be the objective or CCTV is yet to be determined.
Oh, G2 and Lestream drew both times they meet each other. It was in the half transition too. No. Anyway, yeah. Basically, G2 can't get 3 points now. The most that they can get is 23. Currently, the stream has 23, so you can go ahead and work that out for yourself. G2 now going to be bringing the Ying, like I said. Look at that.
Finally.
Yeah. It's here on match point for Empire.
Will it do a whole lot is the big question. Whether it's too late or not, we'll find out here. But will it be the difference maker, and will this, I guess, give G2 a few nightmares for regret? Scyther playing inside of the radio window and repelled upside down, at least the T95. Will garner 1 kill, and Joystick can't land the shots onto Kandor Aketi either. Scyther will fall, sorry, as I'm used to Joystick playing the dock, but nonetheless, Joystick and Scyther both fall. Karzeka, the lone man who's been dying quite a lot on the Echo, will now have to retreat as Armory is forfeited. You've got 2 upstairs inside of CCTV. Shockwave, now Shepard's at the base of the metal stairs. It's a tough position to be in if you've already lost 2, and now a 3rd one as Karzeka will fall on that Echo. Not a lot of plant denial happening for Empire for the majority of this game, and both members of Empire will retreat downstairs. Pengu using some Candelas, but it looks like Jonas is going to wrap things up with a bow as he gets blinded by Pengu. It's Shockwave alone inside of detention as barely a minute has passed, holding a pick selling inside of detention, but they all swarm in. Gogo will be the one to collect the kill, so we will go the distance. It's G2 staving off the elimination for just a moment. Could be a 7-5 win here for Empire as they are allowed to go back up to Armory lockers, but they've been not 100% on that site so far.
I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if this goes to a draw.
No.
Not even a little bit. So no ventilation, like you said, which seemed to be the better site for Empire overall. And this is Empire's fault through and through. The fact that they went to Armory 3 times in a row. You know, you lose it the first time, maybe, hey, mix things up. You lose it the second, maybe, hey, mix things up. But, hey, they got it on the 3rd, so at least there's that. Yeah. They'll have to go to Armory now as their last bomb site for this match. And their only potential for 3 more points. But, I mean, they don't need them.
No.
So they don't even need the 1 point that they are going to 100% get if this is a G2 victory, so, or a G2 victory in this round anyway. That'll give us a draw. Anyway, here we are. Last round. Fabian's been fragging out, as you can see, and he has been doing that quite a lot lately. G2 have been leaning on Fabian for frags so much. And I don't know if it's deliberate or if Fabian is just having a season and a half, but whatever it is, he's been performing above and beyond his expectations recently. You know, people think about Fabian and think about like a support player, you know, IGL, the leader in a way, kind of, I guess. Not as much as the fragger. No. And he has been the fragger for the second half of the season.
When you think about the members that make up the rest of G2, you've got Pengu and Kanto and Jonas for a while there was also doing a pretty good job on fragging. Maybe about a year ago, not so much in the last 6 months or so, but there's plenty of other options, and yet it's Fabian still leading the charge. And Empire will have to contend with this 3-headed monster that they're going up against right now in Pengu, Fabian, and Kanto that have been doing a lot of the heavy lifting for G2 for weeks on weeks on weeks. It's Scyther back on the Echo, and whoever's been playing the Echo role so far for Empire has just had a bad time. Last time around it was Karzeka, it was majority Scyther, Shockwave once as well. It's been a tough road to just keep him alive and have the possibility of any plant denial, especially with Fabian heading in downstairs, honestly, without fail. Every single... Oh, will he pop the hatch? And will he fall through?
Ooh. Oh, come on, do it. Oh, he's moved now. Oh, but he's waiting for the mark. You could tell that Fabian is waiting for that mark. No mark, though, out. He just decides to try and open up that floor based on, I'm guessing, the footsteps, and he won't find Joystick. Though, does a lot of damage and forces him to reposition. Joystick's going to heal right back up, though. Just over 75 HP. Fabian takes out his teammate of Shepherds from below, and Pengu's going to finally shut down Joystick. So here we go. G2, once again, with an early man advantage and a good start to their attack.
Someone pushing in through the office. Double door. Scyther can't connect on either target as Jonas will rip through Scyther inside of office. So again, the Echo dies early without doing a whole lot of work. So it leaves you in a 2v5. If you're Karzeka and Shockwave, this is most likely heading to a draw. As the Candelas rain out. Pengu on the sandwich repel. Look to repel in from down below. Fabian and now the full blinded Shockwave will still grab the kill. Karzeka with another onto Pengu. Slowly falling apart here for G2. The run out for Karzeka. In the same situation again. Diffuser down outside the armory wall. Karzeka this time on full HP retreating, and he has 2 to find. Cantor Raketi and Jonas on very, very limited HP. The lifelines will ring out as pings inside of the objective. And now Karzeka really needs to rotate back in towards the objective, take back that site control as he has all 3 smoke canisters remaining. Just a few whiffs of that toxic gas will drop Jonas and Kanto. Recovering the diffuser is Jonas on 5 HP as they try to push in. Pre-fires are bound, but there goes the Toxic Babe. Makes it in behind lockers, but Kanto through the soft wall inside a small office will equalize and take G2 to a draw. The dire seconds, and Karzeka again with so much clutch potential. A beautiful shot there from Kanto Raketi, threading the needle. And it's a 1-1 point apiece for Empire and G2 in the standings. Like we said, it doesn't do a whole lot for the standings, but it was a beautiful game going the distance nonetheless.
Yeah, really quite interesting. And that means that the max points that G2 can get are 23, which is the amount of points that Lestream is starting the day as.
Yeah.
So it's not a done deal, but they're not going to land. G2's not going to land. So good job to Empire getting that draw and really, I guess, confirming that. Not officially, not technically yet, but effectively.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. A draw. 1 point each. And Empire give themselves that extra little edge to keep maybe the first spot.
Wow, as if it was
in question.
In question. I mean, Lestream, if we really want to delve into it with hypotheticals, Lestream could run the table and Empire could lose their last 2 remaining games. And Lestream could take the #1 seed.
Yeah.
It's possible, but again, we're talking about very unlikely scenarios.
Like G2 making it to land. Yeah, because
and that's pretty much done for now.
Yeah, it's pretty much done for. So that's it for match #1.
That is.
Yeah, and it was definitely a very good one. Empire with some great rounds, G2 with some great rounds. Both teams really misunderstanding where they're good and where they're bad, though. We saw G2 stick to ventilation for far too long, and it cost them quite a lot. We saw Empire stick to armory for far too long, and it cost them quite a lot on their defenses. That was pretty much the main story, is once both teams were finding their weaknesses and not adjusting to those weaknesses, that's how we got our draw. You know, it would have been a pretty easy... Imagine Empire starts second half on ventilation.
Yeah.
And then they win that, and then the momentum is completely different. I mean, that would have been a pretty straightforward Empire win, you got to imagine. They did struggle, though, heavily with that armory defense throughout their defensive half. So they had to have had a second site to go to. They tried customs. It didn't work for Empire. So, I mean, overall, the defense for this match was struggling for both teams, no matter how you look at it. And there were very few safe havens.
Yeah, it was 4-2 attacking splits for both teams, and that's actually a bit of an oddity on Border. You talk about how, I guess, like your default wins, like you talked about, the default defensive wins on Border, Armory, and downstairs from ventilation. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have an interview for you between members of both teams. It'll be Fabian and Joystick from G2 and Empire. Boys, welcome to the show. Congratulations on, I guess, both grabbing a point. Like we said at the top of the show, it doesn't really do a whole lot for the standings. Empire, you are already confirmed to go to Milan, and G2, like we've said a couple times in this interview seat before, the points aren't really mattering for you guys at this point.
I mean, we always want to go away to Milan, right? But
yeah,
congratulations to Empire and Joystick for qualifying. They did really good this season. They deserved it.
Thanks. It was a really good game. It was amazing.
So I guess to start things off, Empire for Joystick, like we said, you guys have already clinched a position. We're seeing a map in Border. I guess we're just going to talk about the map bans. Border comes out. It's a map we haven't really seen a lot out of the whole region of EU lately. We haven't seen a lot from you guys lately. Was this maybe a situation of not trying to show a map that you might want to bring out in Milan, or was this just getting more practice in?
It's more practicing, and we changed something in our defense, but I think we started better in attack, and our defense was not good at all, but yeah, that's all.
And both teams seem to struggle quite a lot with their defense here on border. We saw also all hard destructors still available. Jaeger being banned out was pretty influential throughout that match. Fabian, you yourself had quite a lot of effect as the buck from below using those grenades to take out those pressure points. Do you feel like Jaeger was specifically something that you wanted to deal with just for a targeted player, or was it an overall strategy thing, Fabian?
It's an overall strategy thing. They have really good setups where they place the Jagger devices really proper, and then most of the time they challenge you before you get the chance to get rid of them. So most of the time you can't get rid of them, and we noticed that they play Clash on some of the defenses, especially in Armory. And if they don't have a Jaeger ADSs to defend the Clash, we can use Sophia Stun her. So it was more an overall strategy.
I'm curious, was the Ying bring late in the attacking half, was that just a change, or was that always a card that you were just waiting to pull out late?
Well, Pengu didn't use his IQ device, so why play IQ?
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. We saw that actually with the Ashe change later on, and that was definitely, I think, something good for Pengu to be a little bit more free, and then we saw the Ying brought out,
For Fabian as well, the role changes that your team have experienced in the last few weeks, we've noted a couple times. We've seen Goga on a fragging role and Pengu on Breach for a couple weeks in a row now. Your role has changed a few times as well. Was this just a scenario of we're not really in the playoff race, so we're going to try and mix things up and flex the dynamic nature of the team that is already always talked about? Or are you guys considering like really changing this long term?
My role never really changes. I'm the best player in the world, and there's only one role for the best player in the world. No, but we've been trying some different things, obviously. Everyone can see that. We're changing around lots and roles. And like, for example, now this week I played Kanto's role, which he had last week, and then people are just jumping around. So we're testing some new things because we know that we're not going to qualify anymore. We're not trusting on the stream to choke 3 games and then lose 3 games in a row. That's just not going to happen. So we kind of counted ourselves out of the race, and we're just trying to fix our struggles that we had previously.
So Joystick, with this draw today, you get yet another point. That's going to put you guys up pretty high and obviously near untouchable. I mean, obviously you'll be going to the finals. To you, did this match mean anything in terms of points overall? Are you trying to just push your lead as much as possible? What was the angle you were coming at this match for?
No, we just try to play different styles, try to try something new in defense, and we just play our game. It was not even a thing that we need to beat G2 or like that. It was a really good game. We're just practicing some new stuff.
That seemed to be what we had throughout the entire match from both squads, and it was really actually kind of interesting because of that.
Yeah,
it's a formal practice, pretty much.
Yeah, it definitely came off that way. But definitely an exciting match, all the same.
Yes.
I mean, you got 2 of the best teams in all of the world going up against, high skill and experimentation, sure, but very sharp experimentation regardless.
So I think that's going to round it out, boys. Thank you very much for the interview. Joystick, do you have anything to say to the Empire faithful back home?
Oh,
okay. I think we cut them off. Oh.
You don't get to say anything.
I was going to let them say goodbye.
You're done.
Production. Come on.
You're done.
First interview, and that's how it ends. That's a disappointing one. Well,
don't worry about it, man.
they'll only get better from here.
Yeah. So, that's the end of our first match for the day. Empire versus G2. A draw, a predictable draw. Yeah. Lots of experimentation on both sides, as they just told us, and that's to go to the expectations in this match. It was Clash of the Titans, but it was Clash of the Titans with little on the line. And that's it. We have much more important matches for the overall standings later today, though. We've got a really exciting one coming up in Chaos versus Lestream.
Yeah, Chaos Lestream will be coming up next, and that, like we said, Lestream would have to choke all 3 games to not make it to Milan. If they win this game against Chaos right now, it's over. We have Empire and Lestream going to Milan from EU. Last couple play days will only determine relegations and final seedings for prize money for the regular season, and then we can turn our focus to the playoff runs in other regions. But that's on the other side of a break. We've got to wait a few minutes to get the teams in. We'll be right back with Chaos and Lestream in about 30 seconds as we, I guess, can preface the game a little bit.
It's ready now.
We're good to go.
Bye.
We'll be right back.